So fans, on Saturday, the Griffins defeated Lake Erie 4-3 in double overtime. In the 15th minute, Harry Beatty scored off of a Tom Urkelhart pass, which gave them the 1-0 lead. Then in the 36th minute, Lake Erie was up 2-1. When the second half rolled around, Curtis Gallagher tied up the game at 2, and then Joe Smith gave Seton Hill the 3-2 lead. Lake Erie then responded and then tied the game in the 73rd minute. It wasn't until 2:17 to play in the second overtime that Scott Fox, the freshman from Hempfield High School, was assisted by Colin Watson to give the Griffins their first win of the season. With the victory, the Griffins improved to 1-1 overall. It was a shot on goal by Tom Urkelhart already in this game. It was a good save there by the freshman Tom Jackson, the goalkeeper for Walsh Cavaliers. There's Curtis Gallagher, makes a move, gives it out to his teammate Clint McKellany, who finds goalie Cameron Evans. Harrison House finds Colin Watson. One of the top players for Seton Hill, Rory McKinnon, is out for another 2 weeks with an ACL injury. I know the Griffins cannot wait to get McKinnon back on the field as he looks to pick up right where he left off as the team's leader in goals last season. There's Harrison House, out to Lewis Mason. He's getting a lot of time in as a freshman this year. Curtis Gallagher gives it back to Lewis Mason. Mason finds Joe Smith, who was out last week because of a red card he got in the game against Buffalo. Had to sit out the first one, but they're happy to have Joe Smith back in. Smith finds Urkelhart on the outside and stolen away by a Walsh player. Harry B finds Watson. Griffin's doing a great job of controlling the ball thus far early on in the game. And Tom Jackson saves that one.
At first I was hard to get it to turn down.
It's Harrison Howells. Tried to find Scott Fox there. It's going to roll out of bounds and stolen away there from a Walsh player. There's Scott Fox trying to get in there, steal that one away. Walsh maintains it. There's Harrison Howe closes in with his great speed.
Let's keep the ball, Michael, come on!
Something I found pretty interesting while looking up Walsh University is that West Virginia's head basketball coach, Bob Huggins, actually coached at Walsh University, where he led them to a perfect 30-0 regular season in the early 80s. Now, Huggins is one of the only 4 active Division I coaches with 700 or more career victories. He coached Walsh University Cavaliers from 1980 to 1983. Very successful there. Now he's in West Virginia, trying to get 800 wins for his career. McKellany gives it out to Mason, who finds Joe Smith. Harry Beatty gives it to Colin Watson. Watson boots it out, finding Curtis Gallagher. Goes off of his head and out of bounds. That's Simi Osene throwing that ball in. Gives it to Michael Sadler. Out to Osene, and off of Osene's foot, right back into the wall. Osene to Sadler. We'll make that Keegan Hall. Here's Harrison Howes. Five minutes has surpassed in this game. We're at 40 minutes left in the half. There's Joe Smith. He's got a chance here. Joe Smith shot high. Joe Smith did a good job there to get past a lot of the Walsh defensemen there. Had a chance, but shot it a little bit too high. Probably the only thing he could do there. As the Cavaliers were closing in fast. Here's Tom Jackson. Can't tell if that went off of a Seton Hill player or Walsh player. Looks like it went off of Curtis Gallagher. Touched in last, so here is Brett Sparks. Sparks gives it to Sadler. Back to Sparks. Great move by Jack Wardell. McKelney finds Wardell. Gives it to Mason. There's Colin Watson, the sophomore. To Urquhart, back to Watson. Watson tries to give it to Curtis Gallagher, but the goalie Tom Jackson was there first. He had to get there quick. That was a nice setup there by Colin Watson. It's a little bit too far for him. Osene gives it to Hall. Hall finds Osene again. Walsh just controlling it here.
You guys have got to show! Hey! You've got to show that! They've got five in front of you! You two got to be showing for the ball!
The throw in from Gallagher. Here's Joe Smith. Tom Urquhart. There's Joe Smith. Ref's going to blow the whistle, though. That shot was wide right anyway.
They push that far and committed that many players there. You two got to show.
Fans, just a little weather update here. It is hot here in Greensburg, Pennsylvania, as I can feel sweat starting to drip down my legs. Everybody up here in the press box, I think, agrees with me. Nobody was really expecting this weather to come back around. There's Bailey Moody from Walsh. Mason gives it to Smith. Smith finds Wardell. It's Lewis Mason back to Wardell. Joe Smith to Wardell. Ooh, that was Simi Osene who jumped that one. Turned that one over. Here's Keegan Hall giving it back to Tom Jackson. Right to Colin Watson. Colin Watson finds Urquhart. Here's Watson. He gives it out to Harry Beatty. Here's Harry Beatty. Oh, and trying so close as Harry Beatty. Trying to give it to Curtis Gallagher. Great defensive play by Walsh University as Moody and Mason both fell. There's Watson to Mason. Mason finds Smith. A nice pass.
There's a goal.
Keep the ball!
There's Moody. Moody Looked like he gave Mason a little bit of a shove. Mason almost jumped that one. They boot it down. Here's Colin Watson closing in, and Cameron Evans takes that one. Cameron Evans, Seton Hill's best player. I was told to say that by Cameron Evans. It was Dylan Prescott. Prescott gives it to Baker. Baker finds Sparks. That's Joe Smith. Joe Smith gives it right back to Seton Hill. Here's Watson trying to get the ball on the other side of the field here. Seton Hill's had no problem of doing that so far today. Hiles gives it to Joe Smith. Curtis Gallagher tripped up there. There's Moody. Ref's going to call time here as there's a Cavalier down on the field, and that is Simi Osinai. Referee's calling in for the trainers. Looks like Osinai might have some sort of a leg injury. Looks like he was holding his right leg for a second. That's what it appears to be. Clock is stopped at 34 minutes and 42 seconds. Seton Hill and Walsh is going to use this as a water break now in this 90-degree weather. I mean, I'm standing up here sweating, just broadcasting the game. I can't imagine how these guys are doing down on the field right now. This blistering Pennsylvania heat. Looks like Osinai is fine. Maybe he took a shot to the face. Actually, it wasn't his leg. He appears to be holding a cloth over his eye, maybe. Not good news for Walsh University, however, as he's a senior starter, Osinai is. Probably will come into the game later. Just shaking up a little bit here. Looks like we're ready to start this one back up. The ref comes back in the middle of the field. Seton Hill kicking off. That just goes out of bounds. 34.5 minutes left to play in the first half. Score is tied up at 0. Here's Jackson. And a nice header there from Dylan Prescott to keep it on his team's side. Curtis Gallagher gets in there. Gallagher makes a move. Gives it to Joe Smith. That's out off of Walsh's Bailey Moody. So Seton Hill's going to throw this in. Here's Clint McKellany. McKellany gives it to Mason. Watson. Here's Watson. Good pass to Harry Beatty. Beatty tries to give it out to Urquhart, who's chasing it down, and out of bounds it goes. Comes the goal kick from goalie Tom Jackson. Walsh University, pretty young team, got a lot of freshmen and sophomore. They're carrying 5 goalies, or make that 4 goalies on their team, 3 of which are freshmen, and 1 is Tom Jackson, who's starting today. So a pretty young team. throw-in to Sparks. That's Moody. Moody and Wardell. Wardell gets the best. There's Beatty to Wardell. Mason. Mason. Little stutter step there. Finds Gallagher. Gallagher has a chance. Gallagher with a shot and a save by Tom Jackson. Watson. Harrison Howes chasing this one and couldn't get to it. Not very often do I say Harrison Howes couldn't get to it. Probably seen his fastest player. And that wasn't a diss to any of the other players on Seton Hill. Harrison Howes is just that fast. I think I've heard McCartney call him a freak athlete at one point.
Hey, you keep having a conversation with me. You be doing it
Keegan
all
Hall.
on the sideline.
Tom Jackson boots it to the middle of the field. That's Moody, but off of McKelney. Here's Urquhart. Urquhart. Tom Jackson the save. Jackson. That's off of Jack Wardell. There's Mason. That was Dylan Prescott. I think he knew who he was passing it to there. As Tom Urquhart closes in fast. Finds Joe Smith. Smith. That was a nice job there by Keenan Newbold to get it between Joe Smith and Tom Urquhart. Sniped it right between both of them to give it to his teammate. Jack Wardell with the steal. Finds Smith. Here's Smith. Looks for Urquhart. Gives it to Urquhart. Oh, off of a Walsh player. That was Lucas Dunlap.
Foxy! Foxy! Hey, Foxy! Foxy!
And Lucas Dunlap is one of the players that Seton Hill's got to watch out for. That's number 2 there for Walsh, who had 3 shots. 1 shot on goal and 1 goal in his team's victory over Lourdes. Dunlap actually scored his goal off of a header from a free kick, which gave his team the 4-3 victory on Sunday. So congratulations to Dunlap for scoring the final goal of that game when putting his team ahead, giving them the victory. Here's the free kick. We have 29 minutes and 15 seconds left to play in the first half. Colin Watson. Backing up a little bit is Walsh. Here's the kick. Oh, that's a goal! Colin Watson curved that in. Beautifully done. Colin Watson with the goal off of a free kick. That's the student section over there chanting USA. And Watson's from Great Britain, so I don't know. USA is what they were chanting. USA, Seton Hill University.
Hey, head on, boys!
If we had replay, we'd show you that again. That was a fantastic free kick from Colin Watson. As he curved that around Walsh's defenseman. And Tom Jackson couldn't get there. Don't blame him. It's a tough one. Here's Harrison Howes. Lewis Mason gives it out to Colin Watson. There's Harry Beatty. Watson. And that is out of bounds. And it's Keenan Newbold. Knocked that one out. Here's Harry Beatty. Got possession here. Just gives it out to Clint McKellany. Once again, Seton Hill is doing a great job of keeping it on the offense right now. They played the majority of the game down on this side of the field. Probably 80% of the game has been down here. There goes Prescott. Prescott in a race there with Wardale. Prescott gets around Wardale. Prescott. Here's a shot on the goal. That banked off of Colin Watson with a nice save with his back. Oh, and that's wide to the left. That was Ryan Baker. Got to give credit there to Colin Watson, who blocked the first shot of Prescott. Or make that block Keenan Newbold shot off of his back. Here's Watson again. Finds Mason. Joe Smith tries to get it out of there. To Sadler, Michael Sadler. Gives it to Baker. Baker finds Sparks. Sadler. 27 minutes left to play in the half. This is Keegan Hall. There's Lucas Dunlap. Gave his team the victory on Saturday. Here it is. Walsh player there. Moody misses the goal a little wide right. Looked like he had some room to get down there a little bit more. I'm not sure why he shot that from so far back. Not sure if you could tell, but in the background, Seton Hill's football team is practicing back there as they came off of a loss this Saturday against Shippensburg, losing 64-14. The offense couldn't find their footing that game, and Shippensburg run game just was all over them. But if you're around, Seton Hill will be playing again on this Saturday against Lock Haven, their first home game of the season. And if you're not going to be at that game, be sure to catch it online at westmorelandsports.com. Here's Baker. That's Baker to Moody. Sadler and Harrison Howes running down, a little shoving both ways there. Harrison Howes, both of them are calling it off of each other. They don't know who it was. Ref's going to say that last touch Howes, so he was going to be the throw-in. To Sadler. That's Sparks. Good job. Harry Beatty clears it. Oh, but here's Scott Fox. Finds Joe Smith. Smith almost got it out of there. Osene, Simi Osene's back in the game after what looked like an eye injury. Couldn't tell, but he's back in the game. Good to see. Sure Walsh is happy about that. Of course, you never want to see any of your players down, but especially not Osene. He's a starting senior, had a lot of experience here. It's Curtis Gallagher. Try to find Urquhart as Dunlap got it out of there. Here's Colin Watson, though. Urquhart.
Secure the ball. Secure, turn inside.
Here's Prescott.
Secure it.
Prescott tripped up, but gives it to Sparks. Finds Sadler. Sadler looks for Bailey Moody. Being covered there by Clint McKellany. Gets it around McKellany, but knocked into the stands by Jack Wardale. That's way up on the hill. Wardale didn't want any part of that. Good play. 23 minutes, 20 seconds left to play in the first half. Seton Hill's up 1-0. Oh, and a nice try kick from Sparks. And Prescott tried for the header there. Just a little bit wide left. It was a diving header. Nice athletic play there from Prescott. Just a little bit too far to the left. Harrison Howes knocks it out. We're going to have a throw in here. This is Dunlap. Lucas Dunlap.
Come on, movement.
Out of bounds it goes. Referee's calling a timeout here. Doesn't look like there's any players down. Scott Fox is coming out of the game. And that's number 15, Zach Vaught, entering. I think they're just going to have a water break here because of the weather. We're stopped here at 22 minutes and 29 seconds in the first half. Folks, make sure you stick around after the game. We're going to be doing some post-game interviews with some of the players. First week it was Jack Wardell and Joe Smith, the captains, and last week we had Jack Wardell. So we're going to see who Dan McCarty sends up to be interviewed later today, so make sure you stick around. Also, the Griffins will be in action next on Wednesday as they go to Cal U to play against the California Vulcans at 6 p.m. under the lights. California University on Friday, the 4th, defeated West Virginia Wesleyan College 3-2 in overtime. So they're 1-0 right now on the season. And then again, like I said, they'll be playing Seton Hill. And after that, they'll go to the District of Columbia in Washington, D.C. to play. Make sure you watch the game on Wednesday if you have a chance. Or if you can catch the game on the internet, make sure you're checking up on the stats. It's going to be a good one as Seton Hill and Cal U have a pretty good rivalry together the last couple of years. But that game will be played at 6 o'clock p.m. on Wednesday night. Everybody's coming back in from the water break. We're probably going to have a lot of these today in this blistering heat in Greensburg, Pennsylvania. Here's Colin Watson. Watson gives it to Harry Beatty. Here's Urquhart. Curtis Gallagher. Oh, and that one gets away from him, and Ryan Baker steals it. Baker and Joe Smith. Looked like they got a little tangled up there. There's a kick from Sadler. Dunlap. Sadler. To Osinai. Stolen by Joe Smith. There goes Joe Smith. Joe Smith finds Curtis Gallagher. Gallagher stops it for a second, looking for Zach Vaught, who just entered in the game and can't get there. Out of bounds. Zach Vaught couldn't get to that one, a little bit too far in front of him. So here comes Tom Jackson. Jackson gives it to Dunlap. Dunlap finds Clint McKelney. Urquhart. Tom Urquhart finds Zach Vaught. Back to Urquhart and booted away by Lucas Dunlap. Good defensive play there by Dunlap. Here's Colin Watson, who has the game's only goal, where he got it off of a free kick. Here's Urquhart getting tangled up with number 4 junior OC Tutu. OC Tutu has by far my favorite name out of anybody in these two teams. It's junior OC Tutu. That ball is kicked out by Jordan Prescott, make that a Seton Hill player. To throw in. Here's Ryan Baker. Lewis Mason comes up with it. Mason finds Vaught. A little bit too much power there as it goes under the bleachers. $19:40 to go in the first half. OC Tutu gives it to Moody. That's OC Tutu. Oh, and Harrison Howes with a nice block. Stuffed him. Oh, what was that? Bailey Moody. We're up in the press box, and Bailey Moody, we could see that one from here. Bailey Moody took Zach Vaught and wrestled him to the ground. I'm not sure what that was about. Seton Hill coaching staff down there saying it looks a little different from over here. Not sure what happened. It looked like he got chokeslammed WWE style. Here's Joe Smith. Out of bounds. Kicked by Ryan Baker. So here's Colin Watson. Here's Urquhart. Back to Watson. Gallagher. Here's it to Urquhart. Urquhart's got a chance here. Shot! Oh, nice deflection there from Tom Jackson. What a great save. Smith. Gives it to Urquhart. Urquhart looks for Vaught. Oh, Vaught with a nice try of a header as it bounced off of the ground and over the goal, over Tom Jackson and over the goal. A nice play between Urquhart and Zach Vaught. Nice setup. So close on the execution. 18 minutes left to play in the first half. Jackson. Here's Joe Smith, finds Gallagher. Gallagher looks to pass to Urquhart, gets around a defender. And out of bounds. This is Tom Jackson, the freshman goalkeeper out of England. Looks to send this one away. There's Jackson. Right to Harrison Howes. Howes looks for Vaught, and that's going to roll into the wall and out of bounds. Simeosinai is going to throw this one in, but we got a sub here. Dylan Parsons, senior midfielder, coming in for Ryan Baker. Ryan Baker, the junior, number 7 there, hobbling off the field a little bit. Not sure what happened. Anyway, Osunai throws it in, finds Moody. This is Joe Smith. Harrison Howes tried to get up on Moody. Moody. This is Joe Smith, the captain. Finds Harry Beatty. Beatty's going to give it out to Colin Watson. Watson finds Beatty. There's Moody closing in fast. Tom Urquhart tries to set up another header, I think. Looks like he was going for Zach Vaught on that one. Jack Wardell with a shot. A good block there from Dunlap. Osanai just sends that one out into the field. This is Mason to Watson. Harrison Howells usually doesn't have a problem there, reaching higher than his opponents. He's 6'4", by the way, with a great vertical. But here's junior OC 2-2. Harry Beatty to Lewis Mason. 15 minutes left to play in the half here in Greensburg, Pennsylvania, here at Dick's Sporting Goods Field.
Turn.
Beatty sends it down to Zach Vaught. Here's Curtis Gallagher. Gallagher with a shot. High.
Echo, when you've done that, you've got to play one of these two in. You've got to play him in. You turned and came back. You can play him in. You've peeled off. Just slot it. But then do the running onto it then.
Tom Jackson. Nice header by Joe Smith. Here comes Vaught. Tries to get around Osanai. Osanai has possession here, and that was off of Osanai, so here comes the throw-in from Zachary Vaught. Urquhart. Carlisle McKinnon is in the game now for Walsh. That's him right there. Number 5, Carlisle McKinnon. He's a freshman midfielder. And here's Cameron Evans. This is Jack Wardale. Zachary Vaught racing down the side. Makes a nice move around Osanai, but Osanai with a nice defensive play. Osanai is just going to kick that one out onto the road. We got a throw-in here from Jack Wardale. Gives it to Joe Smith. Wardale and Smith are Seton Hill's captains. Harry Beatty with a shot high. Out into the parking lot. Hits a car. Luckily, these are just soccer balls. Not going to do any real damage. I hope not. That's where I parked. 13 minutes left in the half. It's Clint McKelney. Here's Lewis Mason. Mason gives it out to Zach Vaught. Vaught gets there before it hits the sideline. And I think that was a shot, and that's going to go left, wide left. Marco Pavlik is in the game now. A redshirt senior, number 10. Not sure who came out for him, didn't see it. Anyway, here's Colin Watson who makes a move around junior OC 2-2. Wardale to Mason. Mason gives it to Zachary Vaught. Back to Mason. This is Vaught. Finds Smith. Smith dancing around. Finds Lewis Mason. Mason trying to set up Tom Urquhart. And a shot from Curtis Gallagher, but a save by Tom Jackson.
Down like that. That's not incidental. Come on. You can't set him up that way.
Walsh University's coach not very happy right now. He's screaming to his team, you can't set him up that way. I'm sure he's frustrated. That's the way Seton Hill's offense has been playing right now, as they're been down on Walsh's side of the field for a good part of the game. We've got 11 minutes left to play in the half. Seton Hill's Fraser Goodlad's in the game now. That's number 14, Fraser Goodlad. Here comes Joe Smith. Joe Smith finds Urquhart. Urquhart. Scratch that. That wasn't Urquhart.
Head up, Zach. Head up, kid.
That was Zachary Vaught playing where Tom Urquhart usually plays.
Zachy.
He was actually trying to set up Tom Urquhart. Sometimes you can't always see the numbers from up here in the booth. You can definitely tell by the shoes. Colin Watson, Harrison Howells rocking the pink shoes lately. Zachary Vaught, the lime green. Clint McKelney gives it to Goodlad. Mason gives it to Curtis Gallagher. There it is. Gallagher gets around him. Here's a shot. Goal! Curtis Gallagher puts Seton Hill up 2-0. Curtis Gallagher got around a Cavalier defenseman. There's Lewis Mason and Curtis Gallagher just celebrating that goal. 9:53 left to play in the first half. It's a nice move by Gallagher. It looks like he's coming out of the game right now as number 23, Ryan Doyle, enters in. Curtis Gallagher being congratulated by the coaching staff down there. Making his rounds, giving high fives. He puts Seton Hill up 2-0. Michael Sadler finds OC Tutu. Tutu gets it around Goodlad. Back to Tutu. That's awesome. A Seton Hill player. Here's the throw-in from Carlisle McKinnon. McKinnon gives it to Tutu, and Ryan Doyle just comes in out of nowhere and steals that away. At least for a second he did. Here's Colin Watson. It's Bailey Moody, I think, trying to give it to Colin Watson. This is Jack Wardale showing some speed. He shoots it, but it's saved by Tom Jackson. Wardale's just flying through defenders there. This goes out to Sadler. Taken away by Lewis Mason. Mason tries to give it to Urquhart, can't get in between. Simeosine got in his way. That rhymed, unintentional. Here's the kick. Looked like there was a bit of a hold there. And it was. Marco Pavlik was holding on to Jack Wardale's jersey. Fraser Goodlad. In between Lewis Mason and Wardale. Here's Mason. Ryan Doyle.
Work, Doyle!
Lewis Mason with a nice move. Here's Mason. Mason with a shot. Wide right. Great play by Mason to keep it on this side of the field. 7.5 minutes left to play in the half. Jackson. Pavlik. The ref called something there. I couldn't tell what happened. Anyway. Looks like that's number 8, Dylan Parsons here. Finds Lucas Dunlap. Dunlap and Doyle there. Dunlap just gets it out of there as Doyle was closing in fast. Nice move from Jack Wardale. There it is, Lewis Mason again with another one of those. Mason showing some speed. Mason tries to give it out to Urquhart. Urquhart's going to shoot here. Urquhart didn't have a good angle at it. So it's going to miss. Here comes a substitution for Seton Hill. Looks like Bailey McIntyre is going to enter the game here. He's going in for Tom Urquhart. And Harry Jawanda is coming in for Lewis Mason. Haven't seen Jawanda in at all this season, so this is new. He's coming back from an injury, from what I've been told. He's a senior defenseman. Number 5, Harry Jawanda. Remember him playing a lot last year. Here's Joseph Smith. Watson to Doyle. With Zachary Butt. Here's Jawanda. Getting some action here. So he's coming back from an injury. This is Clint McKelney finding Harrison Howes, who finds Colin Watson. Watson. Colin. Zachary Butt. Out of bounds, over the fence, into the woods. Near the train tracks is where that ball lands. You might notice that senior forward Seton Ripley, number 7, hasn't been in the game at all today, and that's because of some sort of injury. I haven't found that one out yet, but in case you were wondering why he's not in the game, it's not because of a red card or anything like that. It is because of an injury. So the Griffins are dealing with a lot of injuries. As I said earlier, Rory McKinnon's going to be out another 2 weeks with an ACL injury. They're going to be happy to have him back, and now they got Harry Jawanda back. They're going to be getting Seton Ripley back, hopefully pretty soon. And then Rory McKinnon. That's why they got a lot of freshmen playing right now who are doing a good job. But they're going to be very happy to have those returning starters back this year. Sure, they can't wait. That went out of bounds. And that was off of Cavalier. This is Joseph Smith. Here's Smith. Smith on Sadler, and that goes out to Jawanda. Back to Jawanda. We got 3:50 left in the half. I'm sure both teams are wanting this clock to run down to halftime so they can get a drink pretty soon. Just splash some water on their face. It's 90 degrees out here, by the way. I don't remember it ever being this hot here in Greensburg in September during soccer season. Dunlap finds Pavlik. Pavlik sends it down the field, and Clint McKellen is going to be right there. There's Cameron Evans. Evans finds Jawanda. Jawanda looks for Harrison Howes. 3 minutes left. Good lad. Oh, what a steal there. Oh, and a bit of contact. As Carlisle McKinnon had a full head of steam, so he stole that one away. Colin Watson got in the way, and Watson got yellow carded. So Colin Watson got in the way. McKinnon and Watson collided there. Watson with the yellow card now.
Shake, let go on the edge, get your shake.
That looked like it was off of Clint McKelney. So I believe we're going to have a corner kick here. Yes, we are. That is Michael Sadler, sophomore midfielder. He's going to try and set up something here for his Cavaliers. 2.5 minutes left to play. Sadler sets it up, and Joe Smith is right there. Deflected. There's a good clearance there from Frazier. Good lad to get it out of there. Tom Jackson says, right back at you. Here's Harrison Howes. Frazier, good lad. Bailey Moody. Here comes Howes. Watson goes to the ground. Oh, Colin Watson and Jordan Prescott were looking like they're getting in a bit of an argument there. Correct. Did Colin Watson get another yellow card there? Okay, they're going to give that to Prescott. I was going to say, I think that's red card time then, but Jordan Prescott and Colin Watson were having a little bit of a verbal altercation right there. Prescott's just smiling about it right now, but Watson looked like he was fed up and he just smashed that ball into the back of Prescott. They're still at it a little bit here.
Oh, you gotta get out of the way down quick. You never even approach. Well, then give us a handball. It's our free kick then. You've already carded him. He'll have it. Don't start the rule book on me, man. You must. That's a yellow card there, and that's dangerous play there. So let's not talk rule book.
Looks like we're starting play up again after the referee and Walsh's coach, John Hall, were having a word together. This is Jawanda. Here's Joe Smith. Tries to get it around Sadler, but can't. At times, this has looked a little bit like rugby, the way these guys have been playing. Pretty tough right now. Little chippy, and I'm expecting it's only going to get worse as the game progresses. Clint McKelney clears it. He finds Bailey McIntyre. This is Brian Doyle. Here comes Doyle along the side. Doyle gets around him. Tries to set up McIntyre, but can't. As the defense gets it up the field. Another Walsh University player on the ground. That was Carlisle McKinnon. He's back up. 20 seconds left to play in the half. This is Lucas Dunlap. Finds Bailey Moody, but can't, and Harrison Howes gives Moody a little bit of a shove. And that's time. Halftime here at Dick's Sporting Goods Field between Walsh University and Seton Hill. Seton Hill leads the game 2-0. With goals from Colin Watson and Curtis Gallagher. 10 minutes is put on the clock for halftime.
Jordan, come here. Jordan! Hey!
Let's take a look at some of the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference games that happened over the weekend. Like I mentioned earlier, California Vulcans defeated the West Virginia Wesleyan College. They beat them 3-2 on Friday in overtime. Then on Saturday, Westchester defeated Bloomfield 1-0. Bloomsburg defeated NYIT 1-0 too. East Stroudsburg went to Shippensburg and beat them in the first overtime 2-1. And then Seton Hill, as I mentioned earlier, defeated Lake Erie College in the second overtime, 4-3. Notre Dame then went to Mercyhurst and beat Mercyhurst 3-1. St. Thomas Aquinas went to Lock Haven and lost. Lock Haven beat them 2-0. Then we had Slippery Rock playing at home against Damon, and Slippery Rock won that one 2-0. And Pitt Johnstown lost to Roberts Wesleyan 6-1. And yesterday, Sunday, we had Alderson Brodus defeating Cal U 1-0. And then Charleston defeated Gannon 4-0. Now today we have Pitt Johnstown at Damon. And Seton Hill, obviously, playing here against Walsh University. Now the score for that Pitt Johnstown game right now is Damon 3-2 against Pitt Johnstown. Pitt Johnstown is now 0-3. Actually, this game is over. So Pitt Johnstown has moved to 0-3, and Damon has moved to 1-1. Damon winning that game 3-2. That did go to the second overtime as well, as it went to 109 minutes of play. Now let's take a look at the women's soccer team here at Seton Hill University. As some of you might know, as we said in a previous broadcast, that the women's team defeated University of Pitt at Johnstown 2-1. We gave some details about that game. But what some of you might not know is that they defeated Gannon they lost to Gannon actually 3-1. And that was this Saturday as well. That was their home opener, so the women's team was a little disappointed, I'm sure, after that one. Shoe falls to 1-1 overall and 1-1 in PSAC play. Now this is a huge game right now for the men's team that we're watching right here, because Seton Hill lost 2 home games total last year. They went 8-2 at home last season. Right now they're 1-1 overall, 0-1 at home. So if they were to lose another game, that would match their loss total from last season at home. So this is a big game. Looking to show up in front of this crowd today. Not a lot of people, but definitely a lot more than you would expect, as it is Labor Day and many of the students went home today, or over for the weekend. So we have some good support here. A lot of energy today out of these students. A lot of excitement, hearing a lot of chants. And this halftime is actually going to be a little bit longer than the normal halftime. Right now the clock is dwindling down. It is 11:15 left to play, or left for halftime. I suppose that's because of the weather. They don't want these guys getting dehydrated or anything. You just add another 5 minutes onto the clock. It's not going to do much for the game, so it's not going to have any negative side effects. Some positive ones, as these guys aren't going to be passing out on the field, which is a great thing. Some of you might know, Seton Hill University's women's soccer coach, John Fogel, announced his retirement on April 30th, 2014. After over 40 years of work as the Seton Hill coach and administrator. He was hired as the director of activities, it was called, back in 1972. It wasn't athletic director, it was the activities director. He did many things here. He was here for, like I said, over 40 years. He spent over 25 of those years as the women's soccer coach at Seton Hill when he started the program in 1987. He went to 4 consecutive NAIA district championships in 1989, 1990, 1991, and 1992. Under his direction, the Griffins finished 6th in the nation in 1991, which earned him the NAIA Regional Coach of the Year honors. Seton Hill has had 3 All-American soccer players during Fogel's tenure. And since joining the NCAA, Coach Fogel has had 19 players earn all-conference honors. Our athletic director here, Chris Snyder, said of Fogel, Fogel, said, "I would like to thank John for his service of over 40 years and dedication to Seton Hill University. John served as a leader and mentor for countless number of young women, coaching several different programs. I wish John and his wife, Joanne, nothing but the best in his next phase of their lives together." Also, in 2006, Fogel was inducted as part of the first class of the Seton Hill University Athletics Hall of Fame. Over his 4 years at Seton Hill, he has coached 15 players who are members of the Seton Hill University Athletics Hall of Fame. In addition to his head coaching duties, Fogel has also served as head softball coach and head women's volleyball coach. He has been an instructor in the education department at Seton Hill as well. So Fogel has done so much for Seton Hill. We wish him the best, just like Chris Snyder said, retiring after 40 years. And now, assistant coach of last year, Andy McNabb, is going to take over for John Fogel on an interim basis. And a search for a full-time replacement will be conducted. I'm sure it's going to be McNabb, though. I have a lot of confidence in that guy. He seems like he really wants the job, works hard for it. Everybody here loves the guy, so we're looking for Andy McNabb, hopefully, to step in a lot. Big shoes, obviously, to fill. But I feel that he's going to be capable of doing that. 8 minutes left in halftime. You're watching the men's soccer game here on Seton Hill Sports Network. Anthony. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just tuning in right now, Seton Hill is beating Walsh University 2-0, as Seton Hill looks to improve to overall record of 2-1 on the season and 1-1 at home. Seton Hill is winning 2-0 because of a goal by Colin Watson off of a free kick from outside of the box, and that was in the 16th minute. The second goal we had was by Seton Hill's Curtis Gallagher, who was assisted by Joe Smith. Curtis Gallagher chipped the ball over a defender and then again over the goalkeeper. And if you've been watching, you've been noticing that things have been getting a little bit chippy out here between Walsh and Seton Hill, and that might be because of the weather, and it's 90 degrees here. Looks like we're starting the game right now. There's still a minute left on the board for halftime, but Seton Hill's just going to start the game out here. The ref says it's good to go. So here we are. This is Jack Wardale. Here's a throw in from Wardale. Gives it to fellow captain, Joe Smith. Wardale makes a nice move around defenders, but gets tripped up there. This is Joe Smith finding Colin Watson. Who had that goal, the first goal of the game that I mentioned earlier, was a free kick, curved it around the defenders, and then around into the goal. Here comes Mason. Here's Clint McElhenney. Harrison House gives it out to Colin Watson. Watson finds Joe Smith. Wardale. Wardale saves that from going out and way too high over on top of the net. That looked like that was Curtis Gallagher who attempted a header there. Ricocheted up 20 feet into the air. I believe we're having a corner kick. What it looks like here. Here it is. Oh, off of Harrison Howells. Howells tries again, and it's saved by Tom Jackson. That's going to go out. I think that's off of Tom Jackson, so another corner kick? I think so. So it looked like a touch last as Lewis Mason's running out of the corner, followed by Jack Wardale. He's probably going to take this one, and as he is. Just under 43 minutes left. Harrison House was very close there on a couple of shots. He had a header, and then that kick that banked off of the goalie. Here it is. Howells again with a header, and Scott Fox tries to save that. That goes out of bounds.
Let's not take as long on a goal kick what they take on a corner kick. Pick it up the net.
Up into Brett Sparks. 11 on 11, that is. Brett Sparks and Tom Urquhart. Here's Moody. This is Joseph Smith. Finds Jack Wardale. Wardale. Way to the side, out to Colin Watson. Watson. Finds Joseph Smith. Smith. That's Jordan Prescott, who got a yellow card earlier in the game. This is to Moody, a bit high. Jack Wardale trying to get it away from him, but a good move by Bailey Moody. He tries to set up teammate Newbold, but that's out, and Cameron Evans covers that one up. Evans is going to rule that out to Lewis Mason. Here comes Colin Watson now. Clint McKelney. Tom Jackson covers that one up. Jackson boots it away to Clint McKelney. Here's Urquhart, tripped up there. He got tripped up by number 11, Brett Sparks. Wardale, Jack Wardale. Wardale gives it to some open space. I think he was looking for Colin Watson, but Newbald closes in fast. Gives Colin Watson a bit of a shove. Here's Harrison House. Steals that. Harrison House. The guy who makes everybody else on the field look short. It's Curtis Gallagher. Tries to save that, and that went out of bounds.
Keenan! On your toes, Keenan! Come on!
We have 39 and a half minutes left to play in the game. Seton Hill's up 2-0. Simon Miller and Clint McKelney. Joseph Smith. Oh, he took a shot there to the mouth. It looked like he got kneed in the face there by, I think that was Simon Miller who got him. He's up though, he's good. It's Jordan Prescott helps him up. Here's Gallagher. Gallagher somehow got out of that. Gave it to Beatty. That one rolled out. Touched that line too. Ref saw it. So this is going to be Walsh's throw-in.
Offsides.
Oh, it's our throw-in. Maybe not.
Offsides.
It's offsides. If you're just tuning in, this is Seton Hill men's soccer being broadcasted by Marcus Weekland and cameraman Daniel Warman. Daniel Warman is a redshirt sophomore defenseman on the team. He's helping me out today. We didn't have enough work study, guys. 37 and a half minutes left to play in the game. Watson deflects that one. Good move by Jack Wardale.
Now he's in front of you. Now he's in front of you. Good play.
McKelney. Here comes Colin Watson, who finds Curtis Gallagher, who had the game's second goal. Oh, and that rolls out of bounds. Gallagher is a little frustrated about that one. Thought he had something there. But here it is. Tom Jackson going to kick this one away. He finds Lucas Dunlap. Prescott moving down the field. Prescott tries to get around McKelney, and McKelney closes in. Knocked out. Good clearance by Harrison Howes. Beatty. Beatty's going to find Jack Wardell. Gives it to fellow captain Joe Smith. This is Colin Watson. Lewis Mason with a shot. Oh, that was close. That was wide left, though. Looked a lot closer than it would have been. I'm not sure if Tom Jackson, the goalie, knew how close that was to going in. He didn't really react too much to it. That goes off of Urquhart. 35 minutes left in the game. McKelney. McKelney got in there. Ref's going to call time here. Referee stops the clock at 34 minutes and 41 seconds. I don't know what they were doing there. Couldn't tell from up here. Definitely wasn't a water break. I'm sure both players, both teams aren't too happy about that. 34 and a half left to play in the game. This is Clint McKelney. This is a time from the referee. Clint McKelney booted that one, I think, over the fence and into the woods. Here comes Joseph Smith. This is Lewis Mason out to Colin Watson. Beatty finds Joseph Smith. Smith gives it to Harrison Howes. Joseph Smith. This is Harrison Howes. Finds Clint McKelney, who has the team's greatest beard. Finds Jack Wardell. Wardell tries to give it to Scott Fox. Scott racing down and out of bounds. A little bit too much on that pass from Jack Wardell. Scott Fox had to have had like a 4-2 40-yard dash speed in order to get that one. Couldn't, though. Wardell knocks that one out of bounds. Press foul. Finds Sadler. Dylan Parsons. Brett Sparks and Clint McKelney. Clint McKelney just knocks that one out of bounds. Tries to get that ball out of there. A wise decision. We have just under 33 minutes left to play in the game.
Simon! 2 plays in there, Simon!
This is Moody. Harrison Howes steals it away from him before he can get a shot on it. Howes gets it out of there. Finds Curtis Gallagher. Oh, great effort there by Curtis Gallagher, who tried to save that from going out of bounds. Almost ran into some of the students. I think I could hear him from up here yelling sorry back to them. Here's Lewis Mason. Mason to Urquhart. And a nice save. Seton still has possession of this. Lewis Mason off of a defenseman from Walsh. That's going to go out of bounds here with 31 minutes and 40 seconds left to play in the game. comes the corner. Oh, that one almost went in, but Tom Jackson was right there.
Inside, move, Brett.
Oh, Lewis Mason looked like he took a shot in the ribs. He looks unfazed though.
Zach, be aware. Just
Not sure what happened. Here's Lucas Dunlap. Pass it to Dylan Parsons.
Get him that top. Get him that top.
Parsons finds Osine. This goes to Keegan Hall. Hall clears it out. And this is McKellany who gets the better of Bailey Moody there. Harry Beatty finds Lewis Mason. Mason's going to try and sub Watson. Joseph Smith. Smith going down the field. Smith makes a nice move. Colin Watson with a shot. Oh, and a nice try. That's going to go off of one of the Walsh defensemen. That shot did go wide left, however. That looks like Joe Smith is going to line up for a corner. 30 minutes left in the game.
Back up a bit, Dylan! Back up a bit, you can always come forward!
Harrison Howes tried that one. That went wide right. Well, that last touch, Tom Jackson, the goalie, he got a hand on it, went out of bounds. So here comes Jack Wardale for the corner kick.
Outside, Simon!
Here he goes. Wardale. That went off of Harry Beatty. This is to Prescott, who gets knocked over by Colin Watson. Watson and Prescott have been at it today. Lewis Mason takes that one away. Here comes Lewis Mason, the freshman.
Stop a counter-attack. That's 3 times they've done that. A professional foul, 3 times. Three times.
28.5 playing the game.
Keep playing, Jordan. Let's go. Keep playing, Jordan.
He said I wasn't in the midfield.
This is Prescott. Harrison Howes and Moody racing down together.
Keep playing, Bailey.
Moody wanted a foul on that. His hands up in the air looking at the referee.
Back outside quickly. Keep working, Bailey. We'll be along. We'll be along.
Joseph Smith finds Jack Wardale. Scott Fox trying to can't get there. Wardale trying to set up. Curtis Gallagher can't do it. Gallagher knocks it out into the football practice. From the football game to the American football practice goes that soccer ball. .27 minutes left. Here's Tom Jackson. Lewis Mason's got the possession of this one. He's moving down the field. He finds Harry Beatty. Wardale. Look for Urquhart. I believe that's who it was.
Back them up, send them home.
Drop off today.
No. But there's whatever. They didn't get their touchdown at the end of the half.
Sadler. This is Prescott and Clint McKellany. Lewis Mason comes out of nowhere and steals that one away. Watson. Watson looked for Tom Urquhart. If they would have connected, they might have had another goal. Looks like we got a substitution in here as Frazier Goodlad, number 14, the sophomore defenseman, enters in the game for Seton Hill. And junior midfielder, captain Joseph Smith, is going to go get a breather there on the sideline. Ball is up. That's Harry Beattie. Going to get to Scott Fox. Here's Lewis Mason. Mason finds Wardale. Wardale gives it to Goodlad, who just entered the game. This is Colin Watson. Watson with a nice pass off of Harry Beattie's foot, and that's going to go out of bounds. 25 minutes left to play. Seton Hill is up 2-0 off of goals from Colin Watson and Curtis Gallagher. This is the kick from Tom Jackson. He finds Seton Hill's Colin Watson. Harrison Howells and Prescott. Back to Cameron Evans. Once again, just another reminder, Cameron Evans is Seton Hill's best player, according to Cameron Evans, who told me to say that. Here is Jack Wardell finding Lewis Mason. Frazier Goodlad. Colin Watson. Watson giving it to Scott Fox. Can Scott Fox get there? He does. Fox finds Watson. Watson gives it to Lewis Mason in the middle. This goes right back to Colin Watson. Watson tried to set up. Oh, just wide right. Watson was trying to set up Curtis Gallagher, both of which have a goal today. Gallagher and Watson. We got a substitution. Zachary Vought's coming in for Scott Fox. And number 5, Carlisle McKinnon enters in the game for Walsh University. And Brett Sparks goes to the bench. Also, Keenan Newbald is coming out. I think maybe Marco Pavlak came in for him. Here's Cameron Evans. Finds Harrison House. Good kick from, it was a nice pass, but somebody jumped that. It was Walsh's number 15, Keegan Hall. Here comes Bailey Moody. Moody's trying to set up. Harrison House. That went off of House. So here's the throw in from Pavlek.
From the front, Tommy!
Prescott. Shoved out by Urquhart. Whose is it? That was Prescott got shoved out by Tom Urquhart. I hear him from up here. It was Prescott right now screaming, "I can't believe it. I can't believe it." Showing signs of frustration. We have a timeout called for a water break with 22 minutes and 14 seconds left to play. Seton Hill right now looks to be a little bit relaxed. Walsh University, I hear coach is talking them up right now. They're showing some signs of frustration. As they should be, because they're losing this game 2-0. They've had a few opportunities to score, but not many. Seton Hill, however, has had a lot of opportunities to score and scored on 2 of them. Remember, if Seton Hill somehow loses this game, it'll be 2 losses at home, which would equal as many losses as they had last season at home altogether. But the way things are looking, that's not going to happen today, but crazier things have happened. I haven't been around the sport forever, so who knows?
Come on then, boys!
And just a reminder, Seton Hill and Walsh University are not in the same conference by any means, as Walsh University is from the GLIAC in Ohio, and Seton Hill obviously is from the PSAC, Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference, which they haven't played a game in their conference yet. Harrison Howes. That's Prescott. Prescott gets it around Jack Wardell. Off of Goodlad and out of bounds.
Get out of there, Jordan, then! Hey, hey!
What's it going backwards at 16? You might sneak it off it. You might sneak it off it.
Seton Hill gets that one. This is for Lewis Mason. Mason finds Zachary Vaught. Freshman to freshman connection. Here's Colin Watson. Scratch that, Zachary Vaught's actually a sophomore. I just knew Seton Hill had a lot of freshmen on their team starting. Fraser Goodlad, also a sophomore, gives it to Clint McKelney.
This way now. Keep it this way. Good.
Seton Hill's just controlling this one. Evans looks for Colin Watson. Gives it out to Zachary Vaught. Goodlad finds Watson. Watson gives it to Ryan Doyle. Ryan Doyle has entered the game now for Seton Hill. This is Tom Urquhart. Urquhart tries to get around the defender here. That's kicked out of bounds by Osenai. So we're going to have a corner kick from Seton Hill and a timeout called by the referee.
They're not football. I'm not football. Men's fighting easy. It's usually just
Timeout is called by the referee with 20 minutes and 4 seconds left to play in the game. That's Colin Watson down there with the corner. It's up. Very far and out of bounds.
Move. Tommy!
Our work-study ball shaggers are having a big day today, running around the entire field in this 90-degree weather, shagging up balls. Doing a great job, just want to give them a shout-out. That's kicked by Keegan Hall, clears it. Back to Harrison Howes now. Back to Howes. Howes finds Doyle. This is to Colin Watson. Watson finds Goodlad. Goodlad's going to give it back to Howes, who finds Clint McKelney.
Hey, coming! Get out!
Nice move by Clint McKelney. As Walsh's University, Dylan Parsons was closing in rather quickly. Doyle to Vaught. Clears. Urquhart. Urquhart almost made a move around Osanai and would have had a good shot at scoring there, but Osanai, not sure if he tripped him or what happened there. And that's what it was. Osanai figured there's two guys behind him. I'm in front. He's getting around me. I guess that was a good defensive play. We got just under 18 minutes left to play in the game. This is Colin Watson, who scored on a free kick earlier. He's going to try again here. Here comes Colin Watson. Tries to set up a header and good move there from Walsh. Howell saves it from going out.
Get over!
Jack Wardale stuffs it as Keegan Hall tried to send it down the field. "17 minutes left to play in the game. Seton Hill's up 2-0. Glenn McKelney. Zachary Vaught. Dunlap takes it away. Zachary Vaught and Dunlap. Been a battle over there. Dunlap gets it out. Gives it to Carlisle McKinnon. But a touch the line. So this is Mason. Throwing it in to Colin Watson. Here comes Watson. And off of Lucas Dunlap. There's a third throw in. Harrison Howes is going to take this one. Howes finds Goodlad. Goodlad tried to get around defender. Couldn't. This is Prescott. Bailey Moody now. Moody finds Prescott. Prescott with a shot and deflected off of Jack Wardale. That was one of the closer chances that Walsh has had today at scoring. They found no luck in that department so far, as they have 0 points right now. 0 goals. I believe we have a quarter. 15 and a half left to play in the game. Here comes the kick. It is up. And deflected by Colin Watson. Nice play and nice job by Lewis Mason. Jock Wardale closing in fast. Can't get there. This is Sparks. Sparks tries to set up Prescott. Good job by Clint McKelney, but here it is, Sadler. Tries to find teammate Dylan Parsons. Can't, and this is Lewis Mason. And a good job by the Seton Hill defense. Oh, a lot of wrestling right there between Lewis Mason and Carlisle McKinnon. They're just kind of looking at each other laughing about, well, Mason is. I don't know if McKinnon's too happy about that one. A lot of shoving in that one. There's been a lot of shoving all game between both these teams. 14 and a half left to play in the game. This is Dylan Parsons. Parsons. To Dunlap. Dunlap gives it to Parsons.
Squeeze, boys!
Back to Parsons. McKinnon with a shot. And wide right. Maybe he was trying to give that to Bailey Moody, but couldn't.
Grab! Grab!
Harry Jawanda, number 5, senior defenseman for the Griffins. Looks like he's going to sub in the game here pretty soon. As he is. No, he's not. He stepped onto the field and stepped back onto the sideline.
Keep going, boys, come on. Sorry, we're dead. There we go.
Harrison Howes with the ball right now.
Clean those up, boys. Shake.
Clint McKellen's going to take that one away off of that pass. And this is Jack Wardale now. Wardale gives it to Mason. Mason finds Urquhart. Urquhart gets around a defender, gets around Sadler. He's been doing very good at getting around people lately, and he kicks it a little bit too far out in front of him, and out of bounds, the ball goes. Harry Jawanda's coming in the game for freshman Lewis Mason.
Boys, switch on.
12 and a half left to play. Dunlap gets in front of that. Jawanda trying to make a move, and Goodlad comes out with that one. McKelleney gives it to Tom Urquhart, who's dangerous, gets around defenders pretty easily today. He's going to do it again. There it is. Gives it to Doyle. Doyle with a shot, and a nice save by Tom Jackson. Substitutions. As Joseph Smith enters the game. And looks like Curtis Gallagher's coming out. Bailey Moody and Jordan Prescott from Walsh University, who have probably seen the most action today, are now coming out of the game. And that's George Bukenya, number 17, comes in the game. And a save. It's Tom Jackson punting it down the field. Bukenya gives it to Parsons. Oh, and stolen by Ryan Doyle. Here's Doyle. Doyle's got a chance. Doyle puts it up and tried to give it to Urquhart for a header. So close. Not close enough. This one goes out to Simon Miller, number 18. Back to Dunlap.
Come on, Tommy. Come on, Tommy. Come on, Tommy.
Pavlik finds Osenai. 10 and a half left to play in the game. McKelleney. That's up and out of bounds. It goes into the Cavaliers bench. Throw in from Parsons. That's Miller. Miller finds Parsons. Parsons saves it from going out. Pavlik. Joseph Smith gives it out to Zachary Vaught. Seton Hill traveling down the field now. Uh-oh. Looks like they got a chance. Here comes Joseph Smith. Smith! Wide. Left. Oh, Smith with a shove right at the end. Nobody saw it. Joseph Smith got a little bit of a kick there from Simi Osenai. And Osenai gave, or then Smith gave Osenai a little bit of a shove. Didn't like the way he got hit there. Jack Wardale's out of the game now.
Let's go, guys.
Bailey McIntyre, number 18, enters in. And Tom Urquhart.
Yes, buddy.
Actually, that's Tom Urquhart who went out, not Jack Wardale. Jack Wardale was going in for the throw-in.
Go, Bailey.
Here's Bailey McIntyre. Oh, stolen from Ryan Doyle again. Doyle gets around Osenai. Doyle sets it up for Joseph Smith and can't. Here comes Jawanda. to Wardale. Wardale off of Vaught. Watson tripped up. Watson got tripped up by Carlisle McKinnon, and Watson is down and back up. He's good. He looks to be okay. And we have Colin Watson setting up for another free kick. This is his third one, I believe. First one he scored off of. A little over 8 minutes left to play in the game. Here it is, Colin Watson with a free kick. Watson, just high and to the left, he misses. Still a good try.
With me, my side.
Bailey, keep coming. Bailey, keep dropping.
Ready, jump with me.
Bailey, next to the midfield.
Drop Jack.
Come on, Marco, let's play. Lock it in, hey. Squeeze over.
We're now at 7:45 left to play in the game.
Squeeze over.
This is Harry Jawanda now. Jawanda finds Clint McKelney, who clears it.
Bring it down. Second ball.
Lucas Dunlap. Ryan Doyle was closing in fast.
Feet.
Walsh knocks that out. Wardell. Oh boy, heads up. Might be coming in the press box. Nope. Wardell's going to throw this one in. Wardell tries to give it to Smith and jumped by Dylan Parsons. Parsons looks to control it. He does. Pass it to Osanai. Osanai. This is Jawanda. Harry Jawanda gives it out to Clint McKelney. Just a big crowd of defenders there. Seton Hill players and Walsh players. Carlisle McKinnon now has it for Walsh. McKinnon trying to make a move around Watson. Shot on goal. Save. Great save by Cameron Evans.
Tuck in, Jack.
Harry Jawanda got knocked over there, but he's back up. Good to go. Frazier Goodlad tries to make a move, but can't. It's Marco Pavlik takes that one. Nice move by Jack Wardale. Seton Hill has possession here. Off of the referee, was going right to a Walsh player. A little bit of luck there from Seton Hill. Too far from Jack Wardale, and the goalie gets it. Tom Jackson. 5.5 left to play in the game. Jackson punts it out. Kenya and Goodlad battling it out here. Colin Watson. Here he goes. Colin Watson. And knocked out. Keegan Hall. Watson throws it in real quick. Finds Doyle. Doyle with a shot and blocked out by Osanai. Here's Hall.
Come on, man. Both gone there.
We have Matt Andrews in the game now. That's number 26 with the ball right now. And Harrison House steals it away from Matt Andrews. Andrews chasing down Harrison House. Can't let it get there. This is Bailey McIntyre. Joseph Smith. Smith finds Vaught. Oh, that's McIntyre. McIntyre gives it out to Wardale, and a save from Tom Jackson. Good pass, though, from McIntyre. Just under 4 minutes left to play in the game. Harry Jawanda has the ball here. Finds a good lad. McKellar a good lad. Back to Jawanda. This is McKinnon who steals that away.
Are you going to play somebody in?
Football team is now coming into the student section. We're going to get some more support. Nice move by Clint McKellen. It was a nice setup there from number 18, Simon Miller from Walsh. He's trying to give it to one of his teammates. I believe he was maybe Dylan Parsons, that was. Clint McKellen just intercepted that one. Great play. Here it is. Cameron Evans punts it down the field. Out of bounds. Vaught can't get there. As you see, those stands are starting to fill in with Seton Hill football players. It's good to see. A lot of support. This is Scott Fox coming in for Ryan Doyle, who's been playing very well today. Clock is stopped at 2:44. Lucas Dunlap's going to throw this one in for the Cavaliers. Referee's going to call the sub back. He didn't hear the horn, I guess. So he's going to have Scott Fox is going to have to come back out, at least for a little while, as Ryan Doyle comes back in. The referee's telling the bench that they did not have possession, therefore they could not sub. So Scott Fox, good try, but not yet. There he goes, Scott Fox, coming back in the game for Ryan Doyle. And once again, Ryan Doyle, like I said earlier, is having a very good game today. Here's Harrison House. This is Cameron Evans. He's going to boot this one down the field. That goes right to Simon Miller. Make that Dylan Parsons. Lucas Dunlap. Watson kicks it out of bounds into the football team. Tripped up. There's Carlisle McKinnon by Clint McKellen. Here's Bailey McIntyre now. McIntyre gives it out to Scott Fox. Fox has got to get around it here. Might have a chance. And we have a corner kick. Corner kick with just under a minute and a half left to play in the game. Here it is. This is Joseph Smith with a shot. Right into the arms of Tom Jackson, who has the save there. Wardale jumps the pass to McKinnon. Now we have a minute left to play in the game. 1 minute left to play. Seton Hill is winning 2-0, looking to improve to an overall record of 2-1. Here comes Smith. Smith makes a move. Almost had that one. Smith was just juking out some defenders there. Couldn't do it as he fell to the ground. Out of bounds it goes. Here comes Jack Wardell. Throws it into Clint McKellany. The bearded defender. Now here's Cameron Evans. We got 10 seconds left to play. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's going to be the game. Seton Hill University beats Walsh University 2-0. Cameron Evans with the shutout today. Great game all around by Seton Hill University as they improve to 2-1 overall. That's the game, everybody. Make sure you stick around for the post-game interviews. We'll see who Dan McCarty, coach, sends up to be interviewed. And just a reminder, Seton Hill's next game will be at 6 p.m. at California University to play against the Vulcans.
Hey, some takes, have a look at it, you'll see what a crap decision you made. And hopefully you'll take responsibility for that.
You don't need to get a red. It's over. Let it go.
I'm just asking you
Let
to
it go.
review the film. Review the film, and then you'll know. And that's how you learn. As much as your linesman can see a guy push somebody, as he's taking a throw in,
So we're doing this live from the clubhouse. Hey, Anthony, do you mind getting somebody for camera?
yeah.
Or you can, somebody, I don't know. Just, no, because we have to interview.
Oh, you know Tommy in the middle?
Huh?
Tommy in the middle. Well, on the wing side, the guy with orange shoes. His surname's Urquhart, not Urquhart.
Urquhart.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Everybody wants to
It's a
leave
weird
Urquhart.
pronunciation.
Son of a gun. The more you know. Yes. You know what? Maybe we don't need anybody. I just thought we get some help. You can. It doesn't matter actually. just kind of needed somebody to do camera.
Okay.
Like a Jason or something. That doesn't have it though. Actually, you could just help me with this part. I don't know if they save these later on in the year. What we're doing. Okay. This is pretty steady.
Just, I didn't score, none of us scored that goal at the bottom.
Hey Jason, you want to help us with this camera situation? We just need to be able to kind of, I don't know how to like angle the camera any other way or anything. There's a certain way you have to do it. Yeah, maybe David go. Because you can't really.
Yeah, what about that? That's first, I think.
Yeah, I just typed it real fast. Do you have another question? You guys make some questions on there. That'd be cool. There we go.
There we go.
Okay, just make sure.
You guys are first in frame. Okay. Should it
Right.
play or should I start button first?
Dave, you could just make this like steady, I guess. What do you need now?
Or just it believe in me to fix the camera.
You just want it to be stationary?
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. It does. Whatever you think. Honestly, if you.
I mean, I don't know where do you want it?
We would be right here, in the clubhouse. So is that right?
Yeah. Actually, I think that helps.
Great. Could you hold this for me?
Or,
Is this good?
All right. Yeah. You guys tell me when you're all ready. Is it
it's yeah, that's a little better. That's much better.
Okay.
You're good.
Okay. Okay, great. Hello, everybody. I'm Marcus Weekland here with Cameron Evans and Joseph Smith. We are live from the press box, which is kind of a tree house at this stage. Still work in progress. Anyway, Griffins just had a shutout. Cameron Evans there was the goalkeeper. How do you think that will affect team confidence?
I think the first 2 games of the season it was a bit slow and the midfield weren't getting back in, but I think it was a great team effort today to get that shot out, and I had really little to do, which is goes to the defence. Harrison Howes played very well, Jack played very well, Clint, Colin, exceptional performances from them, and then we shot out, which was a great performance all round for the team.
Great. How do you guys feel moving into the game on Wednesday against Cal U at 6 p.m.?
Well, it's going to be a big game for us, first piece of that game in the conference. It's a big rivalry, the close game. They're quite nearby rivals, so in the past it's always been a tight game. They're really fierce opponents, so going into that, on the back of 2 wins now, I think we've got a great chance and we can play out over the game. Legs provided, we'll definitely win.
Great. Curtis Gallagher is also here. Want to come over to this side?
Come on, Mike.
If you're ready to set up for interviews or what? Hey, more merry. Anyway, we're just asking them about how do you guys feel about the shutout, how that's going to help your confidence level.
Great.
But the other question I had was, I know you guys started the season off with a loss, and I know there was a lot of disappointment on the faces of the whole team. But now you guys won 2 straight games. How do you feel about after that? How much has that helped?
Personally, I think the loss here was a little bit of a reality check. We didn't play our best game, and we've definitely proved that with what we've got, the skill we've got in the next 2 games, and it's pushed us on to drive and win the next games, and we're not going to let that slip now. We kind of let it slip the first game. We were a bit complacent, but these next onward 16 games that we're going to play, we're not going to have the same attitude there, and we're going to go out fighting every single game.
Great. And then the last question I have for all you guys is, how do you think practice is going to be this week after this 2-0 win against Walsh?
Well, we've got a game on Wednesday, and that's going to be the 4th game in 8 days, so hopefully it'll be pretty light for the guys that have played a lot of minutes, so we need to rest, get our legs up, but going there, we need to take this momentum forward, and I'd just like to shout out Colin Watson for that screaming goal. His free kick was a bit of magic, but hopefully, moving into Tuesday, live session, and get back out on Wednesday at Cal U.
Well, definitely, hopefully, if this weather keeps up at 90. I mean, I'm up here sweating, so I can't imagine how you guys are doing. Anyway, this is Curtis Gallagher, Joe Smith, and Cameron Evans. We're live from the treehouse, as I like to call it, here at Dick's Sporting Goods Field. Thank you for tuning in, and be sure to keep up to date with the game on Wednesday against Cal U. They'll be playing
6 p.m.
6 p.m. There you go. Thanks everybody for tuning in. I'm Marcus Weekland, and be sure to catch the next home game before we'll be broadcasting again from the treehouse. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Thanks very much, man.
Thanks.